Now to election 2016. This week, it's the Democratic Party's turn in the limelight. Their national convention has just begun in Philadelphia.
Already a big development. The outgoing head of the Democratic National Committee, Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman, decided she would not be the one to gavel the convention to order just an hour ago. News 4 Jack's political reporter Kent Justice is joining us live from Philadelphia to tell us about the latest fallout from the committee's email embarrassment. Kent?
Yeah, Tom, this has been bubbling up since at least 8:30 this morning when we were at the Florida delegation breakfast in downtown Philadelphia. At that point, Wasserman Schultz entered, went to the podium to say hello, give some greetings, hugged Allison Tant, the Florida Democratic Party leader, a woman from Jacksonville. And then it all kind of broke loose because Wasserman Schultz couldn't get a word in edgewise.
Shame! Shame! Shame!
A very vocal group of delegates shouting their support for Bernie Sanders and their anger at Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Seth Alexander is from Gainesville and defends his choice to disrupt the Florida delegation breakfast, along with many other Sanders supporters.
The reason that we spoke out is that we wanted to make sure that we have party unity. Believe it or not, on our side, we want to unite as well. And whenever you have somebody resign in disgrace, you shouldn't show your face. And that's what's happening right here. She's coming here thinking that we're going to unite.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz went up to speak, and it's clear that she is literally the worst. She is totally tone deaf, especially with the email scandal, and, well, essentially we treated her like she was treating us.
Monica DuPaul is from Jacksonville, saying she wants real progressive change. Other Florida delegates say they wish their counterparts had addressed their differences differently.
Look, we're strong supporters of Debbie. She's represented our community very well for the last few years. We've seen her do many wonderful pieces of legislation. I represent the Hispanic community in our district, and definitely I know that she's done a lot for the Venezuelan community.
The wonderful thing about the Democratic Party is that we are a party for all people, unlike the Republican Party. So there's going to be diverse opinions happening throughout this area. But the bottom line is we'll all come together for Hillary in the end.
What do you make of all this?
What a send-off for Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And, of course, she's not just the outgoing chair of the Democratic National Committee. She's a U.S. representative from down in Broward County running for re-election and widely viewed as the overwhelming winner when that election comes up this year. In Philadelphia, Kent Justice, Channel 4, the local station.
Kent, you were in the room without exactly doing a head count. How many demonstrators would you say shouted for Sanders, and were there also demonstrators shouting for Wasserman Schultz?
Tom, most of the room stayed seated, but dozens of the Sanders supporters came up and they had signs about this big. They held them over their head. They said things like email, and they said, hey, thanks for the help, Debbie. They were shouting what you just heard in that story right there. They were shouting things like shame on you. And then more people stood up to support Debbie, and they were really just chanting her name. Debbie, Debbie, Debbie. It was very tough with all that shouting, however, for Debbie to be able to give her speech today. Tom?